What's up, NASCAR Authentics fans? David Land here, and I'm answering the requests. I'm finally going to do a collection video. I've been asked this since about day one of doing NASCAR Authentics videos on YouTube, and I'm finally going to get around to showing off the entire collection as of July 2015. I was kind of hesitant to do a collection video because from what I've seen, collection videos are generally pretty boring. It's just like, look at this is this is all the cars I have. Hopefully, I figured out a way to do this so that it's a little more interesting than your run-of-the-mill collection videos. I'm going to shoot some statistics at you. I'm going to finally answer that question of how many NASCAR Authentics I actually do have. I counted them, so you're going to get that answer in this video. It's going to be more like a collection tour more than a collection just, you know, spouting, look at this. So hopefully it'll be interesting to you guys. I'm excited to show you this video finally because I know everybody's been pining for it. So without any further ado, let's get into it. The NASCAR Authentics collection video. So just to throw a statistic at you right off the bat. It's not the total number of cars I have. That's going to be a little bit later in the video, but I can tell you this. You know the collector's boxes you see in front of you, the big little like mosaic I've got there. There's 63 of those. And I can tell you that there's a lot more NASCAR Authentics Diecast that I have because they didn't always come with collector's boxes. Just let that sink in. Alright, let's go from left to right. Let's talk about the mitten box cars I have there. 8 of the 9 were sent to me by Spin Master. Now I'm not currently sent diecast by Spin Master, and I haven't been since spring of 2014. They sent a package, a little care package of diecasts to a lot of the major diecast reviewers. You will probably know who they all are. And I got on that comp list. So since I had already reviewed Wave 1 by the time they sent me those cars, I just kept them in the box because it's kind of a nice memento, and it kind of marks the start of this very serious getting into the NASCAR Authentics reviews. So those are those, and also there's a Wave 2 car, Wave 2 2015 car in there. That's the NASCAR Classic Goodwrench Chevrolet of Dale Earnhardt. That was another one I already had, so I kept it in the box. But I did reviews of all those cars, so you can find them on the channel, and I'm kind of glad to have them in the box. Next to them, the 9th car I have, still mint on card, is an interesting story. That's the 20 Joey Logano Dollar General car. Now, depending on who you ask, it's one of, if not the rarest NASCAR Authentics car ever produced. It's right up there with the Kurt Busch shell and like the Kenseth Dollar General. But I actually found this car in a Dollar General at the end of last year, if you can believe it. It was an incredible find, and I was frankly shocked. You should have heard me in the store when I found it. It was, but I found it, and I have it, so I do have one of the most coveted, rare NASCAR Authentics, and I'm really happy to have that. That's a Gen 5 car, by the way, as you could see. Let's head over a little bit next to the Joey Logano, and you can see 6 of the most famous NASCAR Authentics haulers on YouTube, particularly the ones on the far end, the National Guard, AARP, and Farmers Insurance haulers. That, if it's not the most popular video by the time you're watching this, it will be. That is the most popular video I've ever filmed. Over 75,000 views. It's well on its way to 100,000 views, which is pretty mind-boggling to me. And those represent an incredible milestone on my channel. And next to them are the haulers from Wave 2. Yes, it was Wave 2. Don't argue with me on that. Of 2015. The first wave, of course, was the Dow and the GoDaddy and the Tony Stewart one. Those didn't reach stores until 2015, so I'm considering it 2015 Wave 1. And since I'm the NASCAR Authentics reviewer, you know, you're just going to have to bend to my will. But so in all seriousness, that video is also taking off. So I'm really happy to have those haulers, and they've been so successful. I will definitely be doing all the haulers from now on, no doubt about it. So moving on, further to the left on the top row here, something I've never shown off on the channel, but I actually did buy a few of them. The NASCAR Bashers. Yeah, the NASCAR Bashers. You guys might remember them. You might not remember them. You might actually have some of them. But I did. I picked up the one of the fairly rare ones, actually. Jamie McMurray's McDonald's car. That was before you could really find his car in NASCAR Authentics, like 1/64 scale diecast. So I wanted to pick up a McMurray car, so I picked up the NASCAR Basher, and they're pretty interesting. They break apart. They're really interesting play if you're like toy wise, not really so much for the collectors. But I picked up a few. I picked up his hauler as well, which breaks apart, which is really kind of neat. And then Tony Stewart, which I found at a Kmart in Columbus. And the reason I mention that is because Columbus is where Tony Stewart actually resides. So it was strange to find a Tony Stewart car in a Kmart in Columbus where Tony Stewart lives. So we're going to move back down to the left side. And this is something you guys are probably going to be impressed with, though if you watch my videos regularly, you already know that I have this collection. The entire regular issued collection of 2014 NASCAR Authentics diecast. Every single one of them. Everyone from Wave 5 to Wave 6. I've got every single one of them. Not much to say outside of, a lot of people still have hard times finding the diecast, so I guess I'm incredibly lucky that I have every single one of them. So there you go. That's that. Let's move further over to the right side, and we're going to take a look at a row of the very first Gen 6 cars that were available. That was Wave 1 of 2013 for the Gen 6 bodied cars. And the very first one I had was the Dale Jr. I did a very specific review just for that one because it was the only one I could find. Moving further on, you've got the Wave 2 cars that I own from 2013. You've got the Blue Deuce of Brad Keselowski. You've got the Pennzoil. I love the Pennzoil scheme of Joey Logano. That was the first time it was released, and it was the first time a Shell Pennzoil car was actually easy to find, so I was ecstatic to have that release. I got the Dollar General Matt Kenseth at a Meijer store in Southport, Indiana, and I got the Danica Patrick in like July of last year when I did the review of the Memorable Moments 2-packs. We'll get to those. Next to them are the waves, I think the last waves of 2013. We didn't actually end up getting the very, very last wave of 2013. I think something similar happened, which happened at the end of 2014, where the Christmas wave never actually hit at Christmas, except for the fact that it never hit at all. But you've got Hamlin, Edwards, Stenhouse, which I'm very happy to have a Best Buy car, and Labonte, which is quickly becoming one of the most desired Gen 6 NASCAR Authentics ever released because it's such an oddball car. JTT Darty Racing, I think is you pronounce it, just never gets cars produced unless you want to go buy Lionel's. But those get canceled, apparently, which I read on the NASCAR Diecast News today. That's unfortunate. Moving further to the right, and we're going way back in time here, and I've got to make a point right off the bat. For some reason, I've seemed to have lost my Jeff Gordon Gen 5 car. I don't know where it went. I'll have to find. I did some searching, but I couldn't find it. So I've got 11 of the 12 Gen 5 cars I know I own right here. The Clint Boyer, of note, the Clint Boyer 5 Hour Energy actually sponsored car. That's kind of a relic of the past now, as you have to put Clint Boyer on the car. You can't advertise 5 Hour Energy to kids anymore, so they just don't put it on there. And the Napa 56 paint scheme is still one of my favorites. Also to note, the Jimmy John's Kevin Harvick car. That car is a rare error car, which has a little Hendrick Motorsports little headlight sticker. So that's interesting to note there. And then nothing really else to write home about except for the Lowe's and Fastenal cars. Those were the first cars I reviewed on YouTube. They weren't the first cars I owned. That was the Joey Logano Home Depot. But nonetheless, those Gen 5 cars are pretty historic in terms of David Land on YouTube. Okay, heading back over, and we're going to take a look at the Memorable Moments cars. Now, these cars are an oddball because they came with trading cards, and there was only ever one wave because, in my opinion, the Bobby Unser quote, these were not the best releases Spin Master ever made. they kind of put out the same cars that were available on the shelf at the same time. Sure, you got the exclusive Danica Patrick website hosting, pole sitting Daytona 500 car, but they also released the Jimmy Johnson that they had in the first wave, which I never understood, and Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon car that were readily available at that point in history. The second wave was awesome, of the memorable moments. There's a picture floating around out there of a AAA Southern California Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. I mean, that would have been an amazing two-pack because there's two cars we'd never gotten before, but unfortunately it seems that car never made it past the prototype stage, which is unfortunate. Moving on further to the right, we've got the 3-pack exclusive Pepsi Max of my good pal Casey Kane and the Jimmy Johnson Foundation Jimmy Johnson Lowe's 48 car. Also behind those two are two of the cars that came in the 3-packs. For some reason, I've lost the other Great Clips car, the Farmer's car, and I never bought another Build and Grow car, so the Build and Grow car is actually sitting in with the Wave 1 pile, if you guys are wondering where that is. So I lost one of my Great Clips cars too. I don't know where it went. So there you go, me being a ditz, I guess. All right, let's head over. And now these are cars you guys already know. You've got the Wave 1 of 2015. You guys know that. Decent wave, I have to say. I can't say that I think the color, that like something about NASCAR Authentics, especially because they are in the toy aisle, they kind of have to be cognizant of kind of like the colors, and pretty much you've just got black and red and blue. I kind of wish they would have thrown in like a Zest car or something to kind of mix up the color palette a little bit. Just my personal preference. The Nationwide car is easily one of the best NASCAR Authentics that's been released in a long time, in my opinion. And then you've got, of course, Wave 2 with two of the best releases, but really two of the three best releases Spin Master's ever done. The Joey Logano chase car, there are a couple errors on it that I'll address in a future video coming up, but fantastic release. And of course Kyle Larson, you guys all know that I love that car. I loved it so much I was shaking in the video. Then the Dale Jr. Superman, which I know people are still having. Actually, the Dale Jr. Superman and the Denny Hamlin, people are constantly telling me that they're having the worst time finding those cars. You know, it's surprising that a previous generation Camry is still in such high demand, but we haven't had a Hamlin since 2013, so I guess you know, there's some Hamlin fans that are starved, and the market's obviously starved because Lionel keeps canceling Hamlin cars. But yeah, interesting that, and again, I'm thankful that I have those cars, because a lot of people are messaging me that they're having problems finding them. So the grand total for my entire NASCAR Authentics collection, 95. So that was David Land's NASCAR Authentics collection video. Was it all you hoped it would be? I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like the video. Leave a comment. Oh, that was another thing I was going to mention. Wave 3 of NASCAR Authentics. Alright guys, I have to be real with you guys. I don't know everything. You guys always ask me, when's Wave 3 coming out? When's Wave 3 coming out? When's Wave 3 coming out? If you guys follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you guys will know the instant that I know when those come out. You know, I'm not going to withhold information from you. If they come out, you guys are going to know about it if you follow me on social media. But that does bring up a concern for me. You know, I am kind of worried that, you know, what am I going to do in between? Of course, I'm doing the NASCAR 15 Let's Play, and you guys are really enjoying that. But, you know, I know a lot of people like watching Diecast reviews from me. And I'm not really sure what kind of stuff can... Oh my god, what is going on here? Oh, what in the world? Oh, I dropped my cam. No, you weren't supposed to see that.